Welcome to Biography with Plutarch, where we embark on a fascinating journey through the lives of remarkable individuals, seeking to understand the intricacies of their character and the forces that shaped them. Today, we delve into the life of Lou Reed, the iconic American musician, singer, and songwriter, best known as the founder of the influential rock band, the Velvet Underground. Born on March 2, 1942, in Brooklyn, New York, Louis Allen Reed, later known as Lou Reed, entered a world still reeling from the aftermath of World War II. His early life was marked by the cultural and economic upheaval of post-war America, where the seeds of social change and artistic revolution were being sown. The war had left an indelible mark on the nation, and the subsequent era of prosperity and conformity would later influence Lou's nonconformist spirit. Lou's father, Toby Reed, was an accountant with a passion for numbers and a penchant for order, while his mother, Toby née Futterman, was a former beauty queen with a flair for drama and creativity. The contrast between their personalities would often create tension in the household, with Toby Sr.'s strictness clashing with Toby Jr.'s free-spirited nature. Despite this, they shared a deep love for their son, and their marriage was marked by a complex mix of affection, argumentation, and compromise. Young Lou would often find himself caught between his parents' conflicting worlds, seeking solace in the one place where he could express himself freely, music. Growing up in the suburban town of Freeport, Long Island, Lou Reed's childhood was characterized by a mix of comfort and restlessness. The Reeds' home was a cozy, middle-class haven filled with the sounds of Louis Armstrong, Billie Holiday, and other legendary musicians whose improvisational spirit and emotional intensity would leave an indelible mark on Lou's artistic vision. However, beneath the surface of this idyllic suburban life lay a sense of discontent. Lou's parents' arguments often left him feeling anxious and withdrawn, and he struggled to connect with his peers. He was an introverted child, preferring the company of books and music to that of other kids. It was during this time that Lou developed a deep affection for music, particularly jazz and doo-wop, which would later influence his unique sound. He spent hours listening to the radio, mesmerized by the likes of Charlie Parker, Thelonious Monk, and the Moonglows. The Reeds' home was a haven for musical exploration, with Toby Sr.'s extensive record collection providing a treasure trove of inspiration for young Lou. As he delved deeper into the world of music, he began to find his own voice, experimenting with piano lessons and composing his own songs. The early 1950s, a time of great cultural conformity, saw Lou Reed gravitating towards the avant-garde and the unconventional. He was drawn to the works of authors like William S. Burroughs and Allen Ginsberg, whose Beat Generation ethos would later shape his artistic worldview. The Beat's emphasis on spontaneity, creativity, and nonconformity resonated deeply with Lou, who felt stifled by the strictures of suburban life. He began to see himself as an outsider, a misfit who didn't quite fit into the mainstream. The summer of 1958 proved pivotal in Lou's development as an artist. While attending a summer camp in the Adirondacks, he met Delmore Schwartz, a poet and professor at Syracuse University, who would become a mentor and a lasting influence on Lou's literary and musical pursuits. Schwartz introduced Lou to the world of modern poetry, encouraging him to explore his creative voice and push the boundaries of language. This encounter marked the beginning of a lifelong fascination with the intersection of literature and music, which would define Lou Reed's innovative approach to songwriting. The confluence of his family dynamics, cultural context, and personal inclinations created a fertile ground for his creative growth. His relationships with his parents, his love of music, and his encounters with influential figures like Delmore Schwartz all contributed to the development of a distinct voice that would soon resonate across the American musical landscape. As Lou Reed's artistic vision began to take shape, he found himself inexorably drawn to the vibrant avant-garde scene in New York City, a hub of creative experimentation that pulsed with an energy all its own. It was amidst this kaleidoscopic backdrop that Reed met John Cale, a Welsh musician and composer, at a party hosted by the renowned composer La Monte Young in 1964. The encounter would prove pivotal in the formation of the Velvet Underground, a band that would go on to redefine the boundaries of rock music with their unique blend of dissonance and beauty. The meeting between Reed and Cale was a chance occurrence that would change the course of musical history. As they conversed, they discovered a shared passion for pushing the limits of sound, exploring the uncharted territories of noise and melody. With Cale's experimental approach to sound and Reed's poetic lyrics, they began to craft a sonic landscape that was both jarring and mesmerizing. Their early performances at the Café Bazaar in Greenwich Village were marked by a sense of spontaneity and improvisation, with Reed's deadpan delivery and Cale's drone-like viola creating a hypnotic atmosphere that entranced audiences. It was during this period that they met Andy Warhol, the infamous artist and filmmaker who would become a mentor and patron to the band. Warhol's influence extended far beyond his financial support, as he encouraged the band to push the boundaries of their art, incorporating elements of theater and visual spectacle into their performances. The Velvet Underground's live shows became a fusion of music, art, and performance, with Warhol's silkscreen prints and films serving as a backdrop for their sonic explorations. In 1966, the Velvet Underground released their debut album, The Velvet Underground and Nico, which featured the iconic banana cover designed by Warhol. Although the album was not a commercial success at the time, it has since been recognized as a groundbreaking work that influenced generations of musicians. The band's music was characterized by its use of dissonance, feedback, and poetic lyrics, which explored themes of love, death, and urban decay. Songs like Heroin and Sister Ray painted vivid portraits of the city's underbelly, where addiction and desperation lurked in every alleyway. One of the most significant events in Lou Reed's career occurred on January 27, 1968, when the Velvet Underground performed at the Boston Tea Party, a club that would become a hub for the counterculture movement. The band's set was marked by a sense of chaos and improvisation, with Reed's guitar work creating a wall of feedback that threatened to engulf the audience. This performance exemplified the band's willingness to challenge conventional norms and push the boundaries of what was considered acceptable in rock music. As the crowd watched in awe, Reed and Cale conjured up a sonic maelstrom that seemed to tap into the very fabric of the city itself. Throughout the late 1960s and early 1970s, Lou Reed continued to produce innovative and influential music with the Velvet Underground, releasing albums such as White Light, White Heat and The Velvet Underground. These works were marked by their experimental approach to sound and their exploration of themes that were both personal and universal. As Reed himself noted, "I wanted to write about the things that nobody else was writing about, like the streets and the people and the drugs and the sex." His lyrics offered a glimpse into the hidden worlds of the city, where marginalized communities and outcasts struggled to survive. As the 1970s progressed, Lou Reed's solo career began to take shape with the release of his debut album, Lou Reed, in 1972. This album marked a departure from the experimental sound of the Velvet Underground, with Reed exploring more traditional rock and pop forms. However, it was his second album, Transformer, released in 1972, that would bring him widespread critical acclaim and commercial success. Produced by David Bowie and Mick Ronson, Transformer featured hits like Walk on the Wild Side and Satellite of Love, which showcased Reed's ability to craft catchy, memorable songs that were both accessible and innovative. The impact of Lou Reed's work during this period cannot be overstated, as he helped to shape the course of rock music and influence a generation of musicians. His willingness to experiment and push boundaries created a new sonic landscape, one that was characterized by its complexity and nuance. As he continued to produce innovative and influential music, Lou Reed solidified his position as one of the most important figures in American rock music. His legacy extends far beyond his own music, inspiring artists from David Bowie to Iggy Pop, and influencing the development of punk, new wave, and alternative rock. In the midst of this creative explosion, Reed's personal life was marked by turmoil and excess. He struggled with addiction and relationship issues, often channeling his emotions into his music. His songs became a form of therapy, a way to process the chaos that surrounded him. And yet, despite the challenges he faced, Reed remained committed to his art, driven by a fierce determination to create something new and original. As the 1980s progressed, Lou Reed's creative output continued to evolve, much like a masterpiece unfolding in the studio. Albums like The Blue Mask and Legendary Hearts showcased his ability to craft more introspective and personal songs, with themes of love, loss, and redemption emerging as dominant threads. It was as if he had cracked open the door to his inner world, allowing listeners to glimpse the complexities and contradictions that lay within. His music had become a reflection of his own life experiences, with each note and lyric infused with the weight of his emotions. In this period, Reed's songwriting took on a more nuanced and mature tone, as if he was pouring all his thoughts and feelings into every line. The 1982 album, The Blue Mask, is a prime example of this, with songs like Underneath the Bottle and The Gun, showcasing his ability to tackle tough subjects like addiction and mortality. The album's raw energy and emotional honesty resonated deeply with fans, who saw in Reed a kindred spirit, someone who was unafraid to confront the darker aspects of life. As the decade drew to a close, Reed continued to push the boundaries of his music, experimenting with new sounds and styles on albums like New Sensations and Mistrial. The 1986 album, New Sensations, is particularly noteworthy, featuring songs like I Love You Suzanne and Endlessly, which showcase Reed's ability to craft catchy, radio-friendly hits without sacrificing his artistic integrity. This was a remarkable feat, given the commercial pressures of the time, and it spoke to Reed's unwavering commitment to his art. The 1990s saw Reed release several critically acclaimed albums, including Magic and Loss and Set the Twilight Reeling, which demonstrated his ongoing experimentation with sound and style. These albums were like sonic tapestries, weaving together disparate threads of rock, jazz, and classical music to create something entirely new and innovative. The 1992 album, Magic and Loss, is a powerful example of this, featuring songs like What's Good and Warrior, which tackled themes of mortality, identity, and social justice. Reed's music had always been a reflection of his own life experiences, but now it seemed to be expanding outward, embracing the world around him with all its complexities and contradictions. As Reed entered his later years, his focus shifted towards more collaborative projects, including his work with the musician Laurie Anderson, whom he married in 2008. Together, they created a series of innovative and interdisciplinary works, combining music, art, and performance in ways that were both unexpected and exhilarating. Their partnership was like a creative symbiosis, with each artist pushing the other to new heights of innovation and expression. The result was a body of work that was at once deeply personal and universally relatable, speaking to fundamental human experiences like love, loss, and transformation. Reed also became increasingly involved in photography, publishing several books of his work and exhibiting his images in galleries around the world. This was not just a hobby or a sideline, but an integral part of his artistic vision, allowing him to capture the world around him in all its beauty and complexity. His photographs were like visual poems, distilling the essence of a moment or a place into a single, powerful image. As he once observed, the camera is a great teacher. It teaches you to see. And indeed, Reed's photography seemed to be an extension of his music, both sharing a common goal of capturing the human experience in all its richness and diversity. Despite struggling with health issues, including liver disease and diabetes, Reed continued to create and perform music until his death on October 27, 2013. His passing was met with an outpouring of tributes and condolences from fans and fellow musicians alike, a testament to the profound impact he had made on the world of rock music. It was as if the entire musical community had come together to mourn the loss of a beloved friend and mentor, someone who had inspired countless artists and fans with his innovative spirit and unwavering commitment to his art. As Reed himself once observed, the idea of having a career is a trap. The only thing that matters is the work. Throughout his life, Reed remained committed to his art, driven by a fierce passion for creativity and innovation. His legacy extends far beyond his own music, influencing generations of musicians and artists who have followed in his footsteps. From punk and new wave to alternative and indie rock, Reed's impact can be heard in the work of countless bands and artists, all of whom owe a debt to his pioneering spirit and artistic vision. Today, Lou Reed is remembered as a true original, a masterful songwriter and performer who pushed the boundaries of rock music and expanded its possibilities. His work continues to inspire and influence new artists, offering a powerful reminder of the transformative power of creativity and the enduring impact that one individual can have on the world. Reed's legacy is a testament to the human spirit, with all its complexities and contradictions, and the incredible things that can be achieved when we tap into our deepest passions and creativity. His music remains a powerful reflection of his own experiences and emotions, offering a glimpse into the complexities and contradictions of the human condition. As we navigate our own lives and struggles, we can draw inspiration from Reed's example, remembering that creativity and innovation are always within reach, waiting to be tapped. And so, as we bid farewell to this remarkable artist, we take with us the lessons of his life and work, carrying them forward into a brighter, more uncertain future. That's all for today's Biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.